and you're going to massage it. So glad my husband is a hunter. Goose breast is white meat. And it just looks dark because they aren't sitting around in a barnyard. They're busy flying. The first thing I'm going to do is just get ready with some garlic, because we're going to be using garlic. Those goose breasts were just in salted water overnight, or if you don't have time to get to them right away, they can sit in that for a couple of days until you're ready. What I like to do with the garlic is I can either slice it or I can dice it. For this, I'm going to slice it because this is going to go into our marinade. Okay, before we do anything else, we're going to make some marinade. By the way, if you have seen these at the dollar store, best little kitchen helper, because while you're working with stuff, it will hold your bag up. So now what we're going to do for our marinade, you want 2 tablespoons of wine vinegar, and I keep forgetting to buy it, so you know the rule, use what you have. So mine's apple cider vinegar. Whoop, that was the EVO. Apple cider vinegar is coming right up. 2 tablespoons of the EVO, which we just did. Here's your apple cider vinegar. And let's put in some 3/4 teaspoon of oregano. Should put that in there. I'm only doing this for 2 breasts. And it's up to you to put in crushed pepper flakes. I just put in a few. See what else we have here. Oregano. 2 cloves of garlic. Okay. So I'm just going to put in a few of these slices that I did. So you can slice them, dice them, run them through the press, whatever you want to do. Garlic is garlic. Keeps the werewolves away, and that's all we really care about. Thing in here. So the reason I'm getting this ready first is when I do what I'm going to do with the goose, we're going to put them right in there. Okay, so we have our goose breast, and we're going to season it up. Our salt and our pepper, our green onion, whoop, started to pour too much on there. I could only find this in South Africa, but you can get it from the African Hut online. Let's see, this is garlic and herb. There's a lot of that out there. Now these are just my regular go-to, just cumin, red pepper, that's up to you. A little bit of chili, and then we're going to take a chutney. Just use a fruited chutney. Whoop. Some of it fell off. And then we will spike it. These are great. If you don't have one of these, use a fork and just stab it. But you don't want to flatten it. You don't want to stretch it out and flatten it, because these are nice and thick. They make nice and thick steaks. Just repeat. I don't know if I put pepper on there or not. I don't even know if I put salt on there. It doesn't matter. Just let her rip. Okay. And we'll just repeat. And now we will pick it up and put it in the waiting bag. And you just massage that all along, around. Get that garlic and that olive oil and that vinegar and the oregano, the red pepper flakes, and whatever else is in there. Just get it in here. And you can marinate 3 hours or you can marinate overnight. Either way. Okay, so we're going to fry us up some steaks. First of all, I've got my oil heating, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, heating on medium high. And here's our steak after being in marinade overnight. Being patted dry. So what we're going to do is flip them over one time each, and we're looking for a golden crust to form on both sides. So it's about 5 minutes total. I'm just going to set this so I'm somewhere in the right ballpark. Okay, after 2.5 minutes, I flipped them over. They're bulking up. I also turned it down to medium low now, from medium high to medium low. Okay, now we're going to take a look. Well, they aren't very dark on that side. We're going to put 2 tablespoons of butter in here. You can put this on top of the filet mignons when you put them in the oven, if you want to put the butter in there, or not. And we're going to put our garlic in here, a couple cloves of garlic, chopped. There's that butter working around in there. Let me turn this back over. And you bring the pan towards you. And you scoop up. This is what I was trying to show you with the filet mignon. After you take them out of the oven, and you have the butter and the garlic and the olive oil in the pan, you can just make that little well right there with all of that butter, and you just keep on keeping on. So you baste until they have a deep golden crust, flip, repeat it, and just work on it till where you get it to where you like it. You can use a meat thermometer. 120 to 125 is medium rare, 130 is medium. Let's see where we are with these. Okay, let's see how these look. Tender. Oh, God. Now, see, that's too rare for him. But I know for most people that would be perfect. Let me see how the smaller one looks. Now that one's pretty good. They would look pretty good to most people. But for Warren, I gotta put them back in, put a lid on them, just let them sort of bake in there. Okay, remember, Get some of those pan drippings and have them ready if people want to just drip them over mashed potatoes or their meat, and have flaky salt on them when you serve them. Cut them thin against the grain, and you're good to go. Okay, now what I'm going to do is basically the same thing, but I'm going to cut these in half to make them smaller, because believe me, they're really big, and we want to wrap bacon around them like they're filet mignons. The others are like steaks. And then I'd like to freeze some of these ready to go, because when you thaw them out, then you can cook them the way I'm going to show you to cook them. Whoa, I need to separate these. Got a bag ready. So those will be the smaller ones, and I think you can form them around nice and wrap them in bacon, put a toothpick in it, and then fry your heart out. Okay, these are formed and wrapped on the sides. It's bacon to look like filet mignons. The oven is set at 400. Garlic is sizzling, and they're ready to go in. Cast iron. Love cast iron skillets. Brown on each side and put in a 400-degree oven. Got those a little bit brown. 3 to 5 minutes on each side. I took 5. Maybe I should have taken 4. And I've turned the heat down a little. Into the oven. Warren likes his well done, so I'm putting his in for 8 minutes. These have been basting in the butter and the garlic, and now they're ready to take out. After they come out of the oven, you baste and you tilt the pan. I can't tilt it because I'm holding the camera. And you get these big spoons of butter and garlic and olive oil, and you baste them. And then you take them out and let them sit for 10 minutes. So these are resting. Don't look too shabby. We'll be cutting them open in a minute. Now that would be perfect for Warren. That's more well done. Yummy for the tummy.